Okay, and how long have y'all been stepsisters?
About 10 years now.
About 10 years. Y'all were getting along before this happened?
We never really lived together, but we didn't have any problems.
All right. So tell me, how is it that you came to live with each other?
So when I was in college, after I graduated, I moved back home for a little bit, but I couldn't stay with my parents for too much longer. So I swallowed my pride and asked her if I could stay with her for a little bit while I got on my feet, and she agreed. So
now, where were you living, or are you living?
I'm living by myself in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had to actually make room because my dad didn't want anybody to live in the house except for him and his wife. So he begged me to let her stay in my home, and I have a 2-bedroom house. I had to make space.
Right, for her. Well, you were living there by yourself?
Yeah, but I have my other room as like a music room.
Okay, so you cleared a space so she could have a room there?
Exactly.
Okay,
yeah.
So what was the agreement about the living arrangements?
Well, we agreed on 6 months, at least 6 months, you know, just so I can get on my feet. I just graduated, so.
Right. You're gonna pay $500 a month?
Yeah.
What about utilities?
I take care of that.
Okay, so this was $500 inclusive of all utilities?
Yeah, I just wanted to make it fair to where at least she has somewhere to stay and can still contribute in some way, but I'll take on most of the payments. Everything was literally great for a couple of months, and then
Did we get closer during those 2 months?
Yeah, we got closer, I would say.
Yeah.
We started to build a good relationship.
Did y'all go hang out, go to movies, restaurants?
Well, we bond over music, so we started making a lot of music together.
Oh, okay. And then what happened after month 2?
Everything was literally good for the first 4 or 5 months until she started to bring her boyfriend around. Well, ask if she can bring her boyfriend around.
Okay, so it was a new boyfriend?
Not fairly new, but to her, she's never met, well, I've never introduced her to him until about 2 months into already living with her. I decided to introduce them because I wanted him to come over since I was staying there.
Okay, and did you ask her if you could bring him over and he could spend the night?
Of course, yeah. I made sure it was comfortable for both of them.
So everything was going well? You liked the boyfriend? He was a nice enough guy?
I was okay with that, but I will be honest and say that I did know him.
Did you tell her you know him?
I did not at
In the
first.
biblical sense, you knew him? Do you know what that means?
No.
In the biblical sense, to know a woman or a man means you slept with him.
Oh, no.
Okay, so you didn't know him in the biblical sense.
No.
Okay, you just knew him from, you had met him sometime.
We kissed one time. We had a
you did kiss?
At a Christmas.
You almost knew him.
Almost got him, yeah. At a Christmas party. I was just having a vulnerable moment, and I was going through a lot of things. And
right. When did that happen, the kiss?
About 3 years ago. And then after that, it was never seen him again.
Never talked to him anything. Until she
me.
brought him over and introduced him.
Yeah, and she's
small world.
Very too small.
Right.
Too small.
Okay, so then what happened?
So then, I really didn't know if I should tell her or not because she's very sensitive, and I felt like we had just started to get to a really good place.
And
as
it was
sisters.
really nothing to tell.
It was 3 years ago.
Right.
And,
It was a kiss, innocent.
Over it, exactly.
Right.
So after we talked about it, I talked to her boyfriend, and I just said, hey, I don't want to tell her because I don't want her to get upset about it.
You said that when he was over at the house?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
She had stepped off to the bathroom, and we kind of just had a quick little hey, we're not going to do that because telling her could probably just make the scenario worse than it has to be. It's
and
not
boyfriend didn't say anything?
No.
Okay. All right, so then what?
So then, one of the nights that I had come home from work, her boyfriend was already in the apartment, which I allowed.
Yes, I gave him my space.
That was okay?
And I allowed it just in a sense because I knew that I wasn't going to be home and whatever, but that night I actually had ended up getting off of work early, and when I came...
I don't understand why he had a key. Why does he have a key to the place? How did that happen?
We had gotten comfortable. This had happened over time, and he would always come over, and they were comfortable with it, so I gave him my key. Sometimes,
did you ask her about giving him the key?
Of course,
and you agreed to the key thing?
I agreed to the key, but I didn't know that it was going to be a long-lasting of him having it. I just thought it was in that moment of him hey, I won't be home, you won't be home, so I'm
gonna give him my key
just
this
real
time.
quick, yeah, just this one time. I thought that's what it was going to be.
So no other time did you come home and it was just him there?
No.
Well, we all know where this is about to go. Sounds like boyfriend got a key, let himself in, was hanging out. She comes in solo. Stepsister, aka man's girlfriend, nowhere to be found. And they've kissed before, they've shared some intimate moment, and this is when the moment gets weird. I predict that these two probably had some little bit of hanky-panky. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit of booty touching, maybe a little bit of mattress pulling. I think that she's going to walk in and see it. But I just want to tell you guys, If it is your sibling, step sibling, whatever, you just don't do this. So if you do this, don't do it.
So this one night you come home, he's there in her room, in the living room. Where is he?
He was downstairs at first, and when I came in, I rushed to my room. I was frustrated, and he came, and he, like maybe 30 minutes later, and he knocked on my door just to see if I was okay. And I just was like, just over it, but we were having a conversation. I actually stepped outside of my room just because I didn't want him to, you know, we already had prior quote-unquote history, and I didn't want him to think that it was anything going to happen again.
Was there ever any flirtations or anything that was going on with you two?
No, he would come around and it would be normal.
Right.
But then I would sense a little bit of flirtation here and there, but I kind of brushed it off because I didn't think that it was really anything. Like, he never tried to kiss me at that point or touch me or hug me or anything like that.
Do you remember giving a sworn statement when you filed this case and you wrote out a statement of facts? You remember that?
Yes.
And you had a chance to read it?
Yes.
And you signed it saying these are the true facts, right?
Yes.
So in that statement, you said he usually came over while the defendant was around, but over a few weeks, he would come by looking for the defendant before she came home, and I would let him in, and he would wait in her room. He would always flirt with me and tell me he wished we tried to do more. Do you remember giving this sworn statement?
I don't remember that part.
Okay, but these is your handwriting, your words, right? Is that yes?
Yes.
Okay, so what was it? Was he flirting? Was it truth back then, or is this the truth now?
No, there is truth. He was flirting, but I didn't think it was to an extent of where I had to go tell my sister at that point.
Okay, but in here you said, I always rejected him. You didn't mention anything about your sister, just I always rejected him.
Yeah, because I didn't want him.
Okay, you didn't want him.
I didn't want anything
this
about
night,
him.
though, and apparently he came by a lot of times
Yeah,
without
he did.
her there. Something else you told me differently. Was anything going on between the two of you then?
No.
Okay, so what happened this night in the last week of July?
When he came and knocked on my door, I stepped out the room and we were just having a regular conversation about just my day and what had happened. And then he got a phone call, and his phone was in her room, I guess, and we had just migrated over there. You know, you're talking to people and you just walking and talking. And then he literally just kissed me. Like, he just grabbed me and kissed me. And then she came in and she
You
saw
came
it.
home and you saw that. What did you see?
I saw them in my room. They were sitting on the bed, but they were kissing as soon as I walked in.
Oh, they were sitting on the bed and kissing.
We were not sitting on the bed.
Okay.
Okay, well, it just seems to me that if two people sit on the bed kissing, they're kissing each other.
I don't think it matters whether you're sitting on the bed and kissing, whether you're doing a handstand and kissing, and whether or not you're laying on the floor and kissing. The fact of the matter is that she walked in and saw them kissing. And to be honest with you, if that were me, I wouldn't care what they were doing, what they were sitting on. It doesn't really matter. What will really be the thing that decides of whether or not there's something going on here is if he threw himself on her and then she pushed away, or if she threw herself on him, or if there was a mutual kind of drawing affair going on here. So what do you guys think? Do you think there was something mutual going on here, or do you think he just kind of threw himself on her?
Yeah, no, it
Somebody's
wasn't that.
kissing one person. We sitting down, we kissing each other.
It was not giving that.
Well, all I know is I came home and I saw my boyfriend kissing my stepsister.
Right.
I saw red. Honestly, I just cursed them both out. I kicked him out. I sent him home, and I decided to stay with a friend that night because I was too upset to just be around either one of them.
Back to this sworn statement you gave.
Yes.
Today you told me it was like some quick thing. But in your statement, we had a fling that was never serious.
Yeah, fling. When
Okay,
I
a
say
fling is not some quick kiss and it's over. A fling is a series of interactions over a period of
I might
time.
have mistaken my words by saying fling.
So
but
what
it
did you
wasn't
mean?
a
We
fling.
had a what that was never serious? We had a what that was
kiss.
never serious?
A kiss.
Oh,
At
you
a
meant to put
Christmas party.
kiss. Okay. And it was only 1 month left on the lease agreement.
It was 1 month left, but after that, I just decided I couldn't stay there anymore. So over the next few days, I started gathering my belongings.
When she wasn't around.
When she wasn't home, no. Just
Okay.
to avoid any confrontation.
Now, whatever happened with the boyfriend?
Oh, I'm with him still.
So how we end up back with him?
Well, unlike her, he had no choice. Well, he reached out to me multiple times, and I finally allowed.
Did she reach out to you multiple times?
She reached out to me too, but
Okay, what was the difference?
with her, it was more so she was more concerned about the rent that I owed her rather than trying
Oh, she
to
was
get on-
calling you about the rent. You
Yes.
still owe me money.
Yeah.
But she wasn't calling to apologize?
She said it was a misunderstanding, but I mean, I know what I saw,
Right.
so I don't really
Well,
know.
what did he say it was?
He said she came on to him.
Is he here?
Yes, he is.
Derek Stars? Court calls Derek Stars.
Step right to the middle there.
Already.